So welcome to the call number 7, Clarity Call with CF Swami Pillai, Blooming Hours with CF Swami Pillai, and today is 5th of June 2024. And I wonder what we are going to change today. Have some new faces. Hi, Ankita. Who else? Okay.
Swami, I would like to say something. I
Yes.
think I created this call because today in the morning when I was doing my yoga, you were somewhere in my awareness. And I'm so grateful, definitely to universe and to myself that I created this call. And how does it get better?
Wonderful. How does it get any better than this? Yes. We all are co-creating this call together. Like I couldn't have created by myself if you wouldn't have been present. So we all of us are in together in this. So let us create something phenomenal. Let us create something that we know is possible but not accessible. Let us make it accessible for ourselves and for the world. Yeah. So everything that brought up, can we now destroy and get all of the please? Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, awkward, all 9 shorts, boys, powers, and beyond. So I was had recently restarted my coaching programs that I have stopped for a long time. I used to handhold people for a period of 3 to 6 months that I had stopped for quite some time, and the energy of that has shown up again. And so I had been into a couple of sessions with my clients, and one of the common thing that showed up for most of the people that they were struggling with, high apeksha, was judgments. How many of you are, I would not say struggling, however, you would be the right person to see where you are, okay? The judgments that you have of yourself and the judgments that others have of you, okay? So how many of you are at the effect of your own judgment of yourself and the effect of others' judgment of you? And everywhere we are being that, can we all now destroy and get all of the place? Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, all nashas, boys, powers, and beyonds. Hi, Purvi. So, hi, Priti, welcome. So, hi, Vinny, welcome. So, yeah. So, what is it? What is this energy? So, anyone would like to volunteer and just share, and then from there we can take off with the energy of this call. So, what actually is happening when your family members are judging yourself? What actually is happening when your kids or when your parents are judging you? Or what is actually happening when people, the colleagues around your workspace are actually judging you? What actually is occurring? Why is this? Why is that there is this energy of shrinking? The moment others judge you, you go in, you kind of um, go into a box, okay? And of course, all the various different kind of feelings and emotions would emerge from there, and we are in resistance and reaction to that all the time. Yeah. So yes, Sangeeta.
I think Swami, last time whenever we had a session, my body used to experience judgment in a very different way. Now I think I'm standing at a very good position because I have, diverted that energy into my bank account. So I'm at ease, and definitely my body has also released a lot of pointers because you last time mentioned a lot of things about my body, and since then, Swami, my body has shifted a lot. So thank you so much
Welcome.
for like your biggest, like you have been a big contribution. Thank you so much, Swami.
Thank you so much for acknowledging that and sharing that, and how much of a contribution we already are being, but we are not aware. Like Akita, I'm speaking with you for after long, many weeks, I guess many months, right? So yeah.
Hello. What body shifted? I didn't hear. What did she say?
Well, I mean, you may not know the background, but yeah, Ankita, you can just
Yeah,
share.
yeah. So I
What
have done
happened?
a clarity call with Swami, I think 4 months back, Swami. Yeah,
I
4 or 5 months back, I have been doing couple of sessions with Swami, and like we had one day we had a energy pull related with bodies. We are pulling energies,
Right.
and that has, bring up lot of awareness. So if you would like to shift anything in your life, join Swami's energy pull.
Okay. Thank you. Though I would not uh what I would say is, you are the source. I can handhold, but I cannot be the source of the change. So, Ankita, in a way, you have chosen and you have been able to receive, perhaps what you were asking for, I was able to offer that, and there was a match. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing. I'm just pointing out to this thing that every time when we make a tool, a person, a book, or anything, or even a class, a source of change, it is good to acknowledge that they were able to contribute. However, please know that unless you are not willing to receive the change, they cannot offer. And even if they are offering, you cannot receive that change. It is coming not from a space of judgment, but the space of acknowledgement that you have the power all the time. And it is only when you give power to these other things that actually contributed to the change, you have to go into the judgment of all of them when the change stops occurring in your life. And that is when you give up your power. You're like, oh my God, this worked for me. And now I use the same tool and it is not working for me. So there is something wrong with the tool, or wrong with the person, or wrong with the class, or there is something different. So the you cannot eliminate yourself out of the equation of your own transformation. You cannot replace it. It has to be you, you choosing you. And of course, when you have this ask, then people show up, classes show up, books show up, and the insight shows up that brings in the shift. So yeah, thank you so much, Ankita. I think that point had to go across. Okay? Because I had been in a lot of places where something has worked for me phenomenally, and I went gaga over it, and I started recommending people that, and people, when they did it, some of them got the results, and after a point they stopped getting the result, and then they went to judgment of that class or of that person. And when I was asking questions around that, I was like, oh, the common, if, like you cannot get, you cannot replace yourself or anything. Yeah. And it is always you that allows your receiving, your receptivity is what is going to determine what level of changes you are going to bring about in yourself, and how much you can receive from anything for that matter. So yes.
And thank you so much. Even I got an awareness that why things are, not showing up the way they used to, because now the ask is different, the point of views are different, and the congruency is definitely a different. Yeah.
Totally, totally. I think this is so. Yeah, there's a congruence. There is a different time. Your energy is different. What helped you to get where you are today may not help you to get where you want to reach tomorrow. Okay, and that is where we need to be grateful for what helped us, and to ask new questions as to what else is required, so that we can move to the next best version of ourselves, or to become the next best version of ourselves. Yeah. So, yes. So, what it is that happens when the judgment occurs? So, the one thing that occurs dynamically and that we keep doing is projections and expectations. We constantly keep on projecting and expecting on people as to how they should be and what they should do and what they should not do. Okay. And this also occurs because when we were young, when we were below, under 2 years, we had family members and relatives who had projected and expected, who had put on their points of view of projection expectation on us, and we bought all of those points of view. Like, you are stupid, you are not good, okay, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, and we bought into all of those points of view, and we aligned and agreed with all of that. And then after a point, um, uh, you have to do something called, you have to separate. Yeah, you have to judge, separate, and reject yourself from what you are judging. Like, whatever you are, so whomsoever you are judging, you have to separate and reject from them. You have to separate yourself from them. You have to separate from the point you have to separate yourself from everything that you're judging yourself about. So what it is, what expectation projection are you using to not to create the future that you could be choosing? Everything that is times of God's and can be now destroyed and get all of that, please. Good, bad, right, wrong, POC, all nine shorts, boys, powers, and beyonds. So, how many projections and expectations are you using to create the separations, judgments, and rejection of you are you choosing? Everything that is times of God's can be now destroyed and get all of that, please. Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, POC, all nine shorts, boys, powers, and beyonds. Yep. Anybody would like to share anything that is going on in their life, and then we can take that up and take this class forward. So this class is more going to be around the energy of expectation projection, yeah, and how we are limiting ourselves and how we are rejecting parts and pieces of ourselves, how we are separating ourselves from the future that we would like to create is what we are going to explore today. So I'm done with the class. It's up to you how far you want to take it. Now, based on your questions and where you stand. So anyone who would like to have any questions, and we can take it from there. Yes. Who would like to volunteer? Or who would like to change something in their life that is not working for them? Yes, Ritvik, go ahead.
The same, like you were saying, the judgments of others mostly, of co-workers, and so mostly every time I feel negative. Like though they were not judging every time, maybe out of 10 they were judging 7 times, but other 3 times also I am taking from my side. Oh, they are judging whether whatever work I did, whether it is up to their mark or they would like it or not, and how they wanna uh, see
Yep.
at that. Like,
Yep.
so if not, then in future, if they wanna give me the work or not, then how I'm gonna survive? Like, lot
Yes.
of questions.
Yes. So thanks for sharing. So when people project things on you, you are good, you are not good, or you are inferior, or you're not, mm, whatever. Like any projections that is thrown upon you, the moment you start making it real, is when you have to buy into that. So everywhere you bought everyone else's projection and expectation as real and true, can we now destroy and create all of that, please? Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pod, all nishas, boys, powers, and beyonds. We need to recognize that all the projection and expectations are nothing but just a point of view. It has nothing to do with reality. We make it real and true by buying into that. So everywhere you bought all of the projection expectations real and true for you, just because it came from people of authority, can we all now destroy and create all of the, please? Good, bad, right, wrong, Pakpad, online trust, boys, powers, and beyonds. So, how much have you suppressed yourself based on the expectation projection of your colleagues? How much have you suppressed yourself? Uh, how much you have uh, cut down parts and pieces of yourself and hid yourself? Hid? No. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Hide is also not grammatically correct, but anyway, so how much are you hiding yourself because of the positioned expectation of others? And everywhere we all are doing that, consciously and unconsciously. Can we all know the strong and create all of the piece? Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pada, online shows, voice, powers, and beyonds. And how much of this projection expectation? So what is required here? We have to be in an interesting point of view of all of the projection expectation. What we do is they have a fixed point of view. That's the judgment that they have, and you buy into it, and you buy into it as a fixed point of view. It is just a point of view. It is just their opinion. The moment you start buying into that is when uh, you have to resist it. You have to prove that you are not. Okay, and you have to separate yourself from them, and you have to also separate yourself from what you actually could be, because now once you bought this point of view, you are believing what they are saying is true, right? So everywhere We are not willing to have our own back in the favor of someone else's expectations projection. Can we now destroy and get all of that, please? Good and bad, right and wrong, POC and POD, all shots, boys, for West and beyond. So what is required? Interesting point of view. Now, interesting point of view, most of us, most of the people, most of the time are pretending that we are doing interesting point of view. We are not doing interesting point of view most of the time. Okay. Unless you recognize, oh, I am just having this fixed point of view. Okay. Just saying interesting point of view is not going to change. You need to be brutally honest with yourself to see that you are only willing to consider something as an interesting point of view when you categorize that thing as something that actually being interesting. Many times we know that this is not interesting at all. This is a fixed point. This is how things are. This is how this person is. Okay. So we are copy pasting the tools is what I would say. And one of my attempt here is to make you present that how much you are pretending to use the tool and how much we are absent in the process and looking at the tool to change, whereas you are the change. Like you cannot get yourself out of the equation and make the tool work by itself. Everything that brought up for all of you, can we now destroy and get all of that, please? Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, POC, POD, all 9 shots, boys, povas, and beyonds. And for those of you, anybody who you are new to this, and if you are looking at what this crazy statement that I'm making, then it is called a clearing statement. And for those of you who need more detail, I am going to share here in the chat the link. You can go and to study this more so that you know how to use a clearing statement. This is even applicable for those who are already aware of clearing statement. This is an amazing content here that is there. So yeah, use it. Yes, Ritvik, how's energy now? Like, where do you stand in terms of like how much have you made it as real and true and meaningful? Like everywhere you have made the expectation projection meaningful and assume that it has
Mostly like you said, from when the other person is from authority who can give you projects or you can going to pay you, most of the time it starts.
Yes, and that is where we need to look at that we are buying into this points of view, and we are not an interesting point of view, we are in fixed point of view most of the time. Okay, it is just for the sake of saying that most of us say that, oh, okay, interesting point of view of this point of view, but you are not really present with, like, are you just pretending to say it for the sake of saying it, or is the energy is really shifting? Okay, so yep. So what energy of interesting point of view can you be to dissipate all the projections and expectations that others are doing on you, and all the judgment, separation, and rejection of you that you are doing with yourself and with the possibility, and everything that is times to Godzilla can be now destroyed and get all of the please. Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, POC, all 9 shots, boys, for West and beyonds. Yes. How's it now? Ritvik?
Little better means.
Yeah. So you have to, yeah, the thing is you have to really work on this. It is an ongoing thing. It is not that you got a tool and the tools are going to work by themselves. You need to be able to use the tool, recognize where you are, and realize that, cool, I am in a fixed point of view. I actually bought this point of view. So you have to destroy and unpit everywhere you bought into the expectation judgments of others. Okay. And then you have to be doing this tool repeatedly every time this thoughts, feelings, and emotions pop up. Oh, so what? Yeah. So okay. So enjoy playing with it and let me know what shifts and changes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Ritu, and then Ankita, and then Vandana. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
So Swami, since childhood, parents project and expect a lot, and we do not understand.
Yep.
It's only like when we do a course like this, or when we get an awareness, that we come to know that there's a lot of projection and expectation, and there's a lot of judgment, and there is a lot of disempowering, which is shrinking our world. Correct? My question to you is, how can we come out of that? Because that is a major chunk of one's life. Yes, outsiders are one, but initially it is the parents whose projections, expectations, judgments all affect individuals, and kind of uh, destroy to a large extent an individual in the nurturing years, right? And that's how you put your things in the forward. Now, there are a lot of times when we do not understand that we are being judged, and that is disempowering. Like, I do not know in a lot of aspects where my parents are projecting and judging me. But there is a shrink in my world in those aspects.
Yep.
My point to you is, how can we come out of that loop, especially of the parents, because that's huge.
So we need to know that there is a pattern. Okay, when you are not aware of all this expectation projection, they go into your subconscious and unconscious, and then that becomes your program that starts running your life. Okay, and you have to be really committed to yourself to constantly exploring this as to what are these different programs that is running your life. So and I know that just information from books is not at many times sufficient to, because I personally, in spite of all of this training, I still struggle with certain patterns of my life. Okay. And the only answer that I would have is, you need to have someone who can actually spot this for you and who can handhold you till you gain your confidence, till you gain confidence in yourself to be able to handle this. That is the only way that I have found for myself. Not just doing classes is not sufficient. As per me, it is a continuous hand holding and continuous commitment, okay, for at least 3 months, 6 months, a year, like minimum, a continuous commitment to yourself to see where is it that you are getting stuck. Now, Gary, for that matter, when he came up with, I mean, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of distractor implants. Like there are like anger, rage, fury, hatred. There are a lot of different stuff that kind of gets us out of our being, gets us into a state of disempowerment, where we feel that it's impossible to change a situation, is when we are in distractor implant. So to just take an example, I'm just going to take blame, shame, regret, and guilt. Okay, so these are 4 things that we do to distract us, to keep ourselves distracted from what is going on. Okay, let us take an example of blaming. So we are constantly either blaming ourselves or blaming our parents, or blaming life, or blaming God. So we are doing this all the time, or most of the time, and we think, and what we are doing is we are distracting ourselves from looking at what is really going to create the change. Okay. Now, Gary, I mean, he used to keep a card where he used to where he had written down these 24 distractor implants, and every 1 hour he would come and check which distractor implant am I right now functioning from. Distractor implant of business, distractor implant of blame, distractor implant of doubt, distractor implant of business. So see that level of commitment. So though he has given the tools, okay, but the level of commitment that he had to actually, and 6 months, every single day, for every single hour, at least in the waking hours, he would keep checking. Just look at the level of commitment. Okay, so it is not that it just because you have a book and you have the tools, you can make the change. Okay. And personally, I feel it is also being delusional, that thinking that information can change. Information doesn't change much. It's an application of information. And many times we have so much in doubt of ourselves. Okay, we are in such an unresourceful state that we cannot tap into our entire potential. And that is where these kind of calls, okay, sessions, books, classes is what shifts. Okay. And personally for me, I believed this long back, and between I lost touch with that, and I'm again coming back to it. Like, this is what is my latest finding. So I am a coach from very beginning, since 2011-12. I've been continuously being in coaching industry for almost 10 years, repeating classes and repeating different therapies. And I think it's in 2018 when I found Access is when I lost interest in a continuous coaching because it was too slow for me. Okay. And I started moving into classes and kept doing classes that brought a lot of change in my life. 1 year, 2 year, a lot of changes, because I was choosing constantly. Every month I would choose class after class. We have invested lakhs of rupees. And then there came a point where like we were done with doing enough of classes. We are like invested enough of money and things were going good. And then things were not happening that great. We have the tools, we have everything, but still things were not working out. And then there was a lot of different ups and downs, and I really began to question what has changed. There was this time when I did this one foundation class that changed my entire life, and then now I'm teaching foundation class, but still I struggle with a lot of things. That very thing that I got out of, that actually inspired me to become a CF in the first place. And that's when I recognized that there are times when different things can contribute. You really need to be present as to what is going to contribute. Okay, and when I was asking this, I became present that there are times when we have a lot of blind spot to our own life. We cannot see a lot of things. We have this fixed perception, and we do not know that we have a misconceived perception of our own limitation and of our own situation. But when someone else looks at it, who is able to look at all of the different things that you are doing, and they are able to, it's like this: if you fall in, if you get into a pit which is too high for you to come out, you cannot pull yourself out of the pit by pulling your own hairs. You have to have someone lifting you up. So that has been my latest realization. And I have had a coach for next 1 year. Okay, Mansi has already hired someone. So having with one particular person helps immensely, and you're not diverted into 10 different approaches, because when you're doing multiple modalities, we also get carried away with a lot of different things. You're not focused in one particular thing. But like, oh, this is good in this, that is good in this, and then we keep comparing different thing, and we keep we are doing projection expectation of different pathways and different approaches, and we reject and separate ourselves from the possibility that thing could offer. So my invitation to you would be to check what is true for you. I found what is true for me. Okay, I found that consistent work is required. I was doing a lot of different classes also just to empower my clients, not for myself. This has been my latest realization, and it was as shocking as it sounds. It was shocking for me, but I was not paying attention to that. A lot of classes I've been doing is to empower my clients. Like, I am not my own client. I'm looking at facilitate. Like, if I have clients, and I'm very good at it. Like, one-to-one session is my favorite. And I'm able to bring about that shift, but I was not being my own client. And that is where the time it's not actually you going into judgment of you. You just recognize, well, this is what is required at this point of time. Well, just offer yourself that is required. So in a nutshell, I would say, if you are able to, by any ways, with a coach, with a book, with anything, if you are able to consistently work on yourself, get yourself to be in a place where most of the time throughout the day, you are functioning from a resourceful state. I'm using these non-access words because this is an understandable to everybody. Resource, we are mostly in a non-resourceful state, where we are not able to tap into our own capacities, where we have a lot of knowing. We know we have the choices, but for some reason, the way the brain gets wired with repeated way of functioning is that you do not feel empowered by these tools or by certain ways of functioning anymore. You
start functioning from the distractor implants, actually.
Come again?
I'm saying you start functioning from the distractor implants unknowingly.
Yep. Yes. And you need to recognize as early as possible if something is not working, there is something else that is required. What we keep deluding ourselves is, you know what, when I use this perfectly, then I will be able to get the result. Okay, and don't buy into what I'm saying. Still explore what is true for you. I'm just sharing what is true for me, because I decided that if something is true, it has been working in the past, and it should work even now. Not necessarily. You have moved on, your energy is different, and perhaps something else is required. And so yeah. So
Yeah, something else would contribute more than the other thing which has contributed earlier.
exactly. And perhaps it has to be applied differently. It requires a different perspective, a different way of using it. Okay. And no one else can tell you what exactly is going to work for you. They can point out, give their own awareness. Like I can even right now, I'm sharing my awareness of what worked for me, right? Okay. I used to love a sense of certainty with certain tools that I used to engage with earlier. I will have I know that if this is, because I know that they are clinically proven, I know that they have to get the result. They have to change your emotional state. Okay. However, I went ahead and tried and explored a lot of things that was not even scientifically verified yet. So it is unknown territory, right? Because it is so new, it is coming from awareness. And perhaps science would take years together to catch up with this. However, I'm in a space like, cool, no, I need to have something concrete, something that is validated, something I know what it is doing and what it is not doing, when it is doing and when it is not capable of doing. I need to have a sense of certainty. And I'm like, cool, all right. So what would contribute? And then came some people, some information, some other approaches. And I was like, wow, yes, that is matching what I'm asking for. This is what I have been asking for. And I'm choosing that. So see what is the future that you are asking for, and look at the energy that matches that. Okay. And it can be anything that can be different from what you have been already exploring. But the energy, you will know the energy. You know, like I wanted the why, how things are happening. For me, that had been important. And of late, I have not paid attention to the how part. Okay. And I was like, no, that is what is empowering for me, and that is what is empowering for my clients. Okay. And I'm like, cool, fine. We'll explore this. And I'm choosing something different now. At the same time, also choosing what has worked for me all this while, and use that differently.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Ankita.
So, Swami, no question,
Ankita,
only
just a minute.
yes,
So
please.
whatever I've shared just now, so for some of you, how many of it was relevant? Because I was sharing my awareness, and that may not have been exactly what you are asking for, but it was relevant. Are you able to see how it is applicable in your life? Good, fine, thank you. Yes, Ankita.
So,
Sorry.
Shri, sorry, why I'm saying Shri, because I was looking at this Srinathji picture. Sorry. Swami, you know what happened when you mention all these things? It came into my awareness that the first person we judge is ourselves. For example, like if I'm not, giving time to my business, again I'm judging myself, I'm judging my business, I'm judging rest of thing, and then I'm stopping my all the awarenesses and the possibilities. So thank you, because when you were talking, I got a lot of information about my, and this. I think you mentioned about the distractor implant of business. So definitely, I'm going to clear it for next 30 days. Whatever distractor implant I have related with my business, because what if business is looking for rest or business is looking for a pause? Still, I'm putting lot of judgment on my business and my clients. So thank you so much, Shri. I think, and I like one more thing. The minute I joined the call, I saw beings of light around me. So how does it get better? Thank you.
Thank you. How does it get any better than this? Thank you. Yes, Vandana, and I think someone else was, Trisha also had her hand raised. I don't know, was that by mistake? Yes, Vandana, I can go ahead, and then we can.
So sweet what Ankita said, beams of light around you. Really nice. So actually the same thing for me, I've got a project, as you know, Swami, after a long time, but the client has become so demanding. I laid out the red carpet at the shoot and all. We went over budget. Now they want us to they're coming for the edit and all that, and they want us to do double seva, which is over the budget. We give a budget sheet. So this time when I put my foot down and I just said, look, this is not in our budget. We budgeted for you in the shoot. We took care of your client, but for your client now you need to take care. There's another client who's given the ad agency the work. And they're saying, oh, but this is leaving a very bad taste in our mouth. And I'm in so much judgment of them for the past 3 days, whereas I should be in gratitude that they've given me this project. And I don't know what to do. All the clear, I'm so frustrated about it. And it's, you know what, we are fighting over 10,000 rupees in a crore. And I'm like, no, now I have to choose me and put my foot down because enough is enough. So it is such a small thing, but I feel that I should just say no. I should say no. It's not about the money. It's like I need to take a stand at some point. But then I have a fear that the client might go away over this 10,000 rupees, whereas I've already spent more than a lakh on the entertainment.
Yeah.
But when somebody starts demanding and expecting, then my hackles are gone.
Yep. So everything that brought up can be now destroyed and all other please.
Yes.
By Drunk Pakpad, online shows, boys for West and beyond. And that's where you start asking more questions. What else is required here? What else needs to be conveyed? What has to be put on paper? What else has to be the terms and condition? Okay. That doesn't guarantee that they would not demand. However, you have something to have your clear boundary of what you will do and what you will not do. Okay.
So I have given that paper to them and said, this is my budget and I've already spent so much over and above. Now I can't do anymore. It's the expectation they have that I should dip into my own pocket even further and entertain them while they're here, put them up in a swanky hotel, organize cars for them.
People will have all kind of different expectation projection of you. Okay. And you need to be present to what is going to work for you. And you need to be able to honor you and have your back. You do not want to please others. You want to please yourself. I would not say yourself, but I would say you want to rally behind your awareness, not function from FOMO of losing out on people.
Right. That's my fear that next time they may not come to me and over 10,000, I'm creating a bad relationship with them.
It's not even about 10,000. It's about teaching them what is okay and what is not okay with you. Okay.
Putting no boundaries in a way.
Exactly. And you are like, and that's where you use the tool of manipulation, where you look at what words can I use so that it can be conveyed in a way where they don't feel offended. And that's where you really have to be present with question and get a sense of awareness and then share. Like ask, if I share this, would they be able to receive this? Putting your feet down is good. However, to ask question as to what way can I convey this so that it is firm, gentle, it is kind at the same time very firm and is honoring of me and choosing for me, and choosing for you is not choosing against others. And again,
so what is happening is that I'm getting into a lot of judgment with them. I've already conveyed it very sweetly, written sweet emails, talked to them sweetly, but they're still behaving like children who are sulking, who didn't get the lollipop.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's different from what gets out of your mouth and what state of being you are functioning from.
Yes, my being is very judgy right now.
When you are judging something, that is what is going to reach them.
I don't know how to clear it. I've used all the tools.
Okay, so the question is, when you say you don't know is cool, fine, then you can like, cool, what else is required?
Okay.
Okay, what else I guess? First is, are you in a question or are you in a conclusion here? I do not know is a conclusion.
See, I've been using what is this? What can I do with this? Can I change it? If so, yes, how can I change it?
So fine. So I mean, you may be using a lot of different things. Now, what I'm asking you to get present to is, you have to be in a question so that you can get an awareness of what is required. If something is not showing up, then there is something else that is required. You may have to reach out to someone or something who basically are missing his information. Okay, you are missing information. So many, like I have got recently a project that we already have the initial talk. All I had to do was send them something, and I have been delaying for last 7 to 8 days. It looked to me as if it is my pattern. However, after I have been asking a lot of questions around this, and I just got present that, oh, there are certain information that are missing, that I'm not provided and I'm being expected to give them a plan of action. That
Right.
is actually not feasible. And then if I actually end up giving them plan of action, that would be over promising and under delivering. Okay, so all of this, please know you are never wrong. Your awareness, this is an awareness. And when you keep, one of the things you can do, like, what is right about this that I'm not getting? What is the awareness underneath this that I'm not willing to receive? Any resistance is an awareness of something else that is going on, which you are not able to cognitively put it in words. So reach out to people. Okay. Reach out to people, reach out to someone who can actually facilitate you to have that. So my thing is, what I personally have observed in my own area is we make money significant. Okay. We make money significant rather than looking at what is required here. If something is required, and if someone can actually deliver that so that you can quickly, go in a rocket speed, then you rather have that services, pay money and get it done and move ahead.
Right.
How many points of view about spending money on yourself are using to stop yourself from choosing what you could actually be choosing? Everything that is Shamsa Godzilla, can you now destroy and get all of the please?
Yes.
Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, pod, all nations, boys, powers, and beyonds. So you can ask, who can facilitate me to have clarity with this? That's it. Go ahead, seek the clarity. But what we may end up doing, because this is what I did. Oh, I have to spend money. I have to give money. And that's where I make money significant, rather than looking at, cool, I have this amount of project that is in a pipeline that is stuck. If I could use this amount of money and get facilitated to have clarity, where am I make money significant? So everywhere we are having projection expectation of ourselves. Okay. And of money. Can we now destroy and Allah, please?
Yes.
Bad, right, wrong, pop, pod, online shows, boys, powers, and beyonds. And when you ask a question, from whom can I get a clarity? You would know it instantly. Okay. I didn't have some information around some of the thing that they have asked for, and I have been delaying. And I was like, wait, I am not having information around this. I need to seek out to people who has information around this. And if that requires for me to make them pay some money, I should be willing to pay that money, because there's a huge amount of money or possibility that is, I'm blocking that because I'm like not willing to spend certain money in getting some information that would actually give me the clarity.
Right.
So how much expectation and judgment that you, how much of expectation and projection that you have of yourself, that you should be able to do everything by yourself. And everywhere you're not willing to receive the contribution of others. Can we now destroy and get all of that, please?
Yes.
Bad, right, wrong, pop, pod, all nations, boys, powers, and beyonds. Like for me, it's like anything and anywhere where we are stuck, okay, is mostly because there is an information that is, most of the time it's information that you are lacking. Perhaps you are not an expert in that area. There is someone else. Get it done from them. Hi, Neri, welcome. Hi, Sheila, welcome. So that is what. So you have to be willing to invest money, invest energy, invest time on yourself. You have to be the first client. You have to be your client. You have to be willing to facilitate yourself. And you have to see what else can contribute to facilitate you. Whatever that shows up.
All right. I'm doing a lot of courses. I do, at least now I'm doing a shamanism course over the weekend, but I'm not doing one-on-one at all.
So many times, that's what you need to, like, that's what I got present to. I was under the assumption that because I'm doing back-to-back classes and I'm choosing a lot of access classes as well as non-access classes, I should have, this is the projection expectation that I have of these classes and I have of me. And that's when I recognized, no, I need someone who has a very good understanding of everything that I'm doing and analyze as to what it is that is I need to start doing and what it is that I need to stop doing. And I have been asking for that. And yeah, I have people showing up now who are exact match of what I have been asking for. And you would, like, if you are willing to ask from the universe, the exact people who can actually fill in the blind spot for you, you will have them. The universe has your back. It is our unwillingness. Like, this is what I was looking at. It was my unwillingness to go and hire a coach, personally someone who can handhold me till I have this clarity. I was like, cool. Yeah, what I needed, what was missing for me was scientific information, because I needed to be able to articulate certain words and certain thing, I know that I don't have information. And when I spoke with these couple of people, I found, oh my God, these are the things that is actually happening at a nervous system level. Okay. Like one of the information that I would like to share with all of you about this awareness that I got and that I'm also including in my coaching program is about we are mostly in our head, and we have this physical body where we have this thought, feelings, and emotions. Okay. And most of the time we may be using tools in our heads, but at a biochemistry level, we are still functioning from fight, flight, or freeze mode. Okay, we go into overwhelm. Oh my God, what would I do? I do not know how to handle this. Okay, so you may go into a flight mode, or you may go to freeze mode. You get incapacitated. You got paralyzed. Like, oh my God, you are like you cannot change. You cannot do things. It's almost like you're sucked out of being. Let's go where you go into freeze mode, right? But for me, for someone to tell me, oh, are you in fight, flight, or freeze mode? That just opened up. Oh my goodness, yes. I'm in freeze mode here, I'm in flight mode here, and I'm in fight mode here. So that information for me, I needed someone to, and like that made everything fall in place. And that's where I saw that even doing access class or silver class that actually conduct, people may still not get result because they are biologically, they are functioning. Their nervous system is not regulated. They are still, constantly in the fight, flight, or freeze mode. So the tools, a lot of time you can use it in your head and you can still be in the head. It has to translate and integrate into your body, into your nervous system, where it shows up in your body, where you have it releases certain hormones in your body. It reduces the cortisol, that's a stress hormone, and releases dopamine. So one of the things that I was judging myself, and many of you I know judge yourself, is perhaps addiction to phone, addiction to Instagram. Like how many of you judge yourself for getting distracted by this and blame yourself for this? How many? Okay, I just have one person, Ankita, just 2%. That's it. Rutvik, others are doing great. That means cool. I mean, good for you. This is something that, like, I would be great in most of the time, and there would come a time where I would just, go in and then I would judge myself. And that has been a recurring pattern. And I was like, I know the tools. I know I'm not choosing by myself. And however, what it is that can help and shift here, it was just an information. And the information that I got, it really opened up that, because this was information that my cognitive mind required. Okay. And the information was this, that the Instagram and the Facebook and all other app, they have studied the best of psychology. They know how the brain functions. They know what way the app has to be designed so that you can constantly get a dose of dopamine. Okay, like every 30 seconds you get a dopamine effect. So the thing here is, when you are not feeling good, you are in a fight, you are in a very unpleasant situation, with any situation that you are going through, you're not able to deal with the thoughts, feelings, and emotion at that point of time. And what the space that you go into it is, you want that is getting a lot of stress to look at, to see yourself that you're not able to handle, you do not have the clarity, right, to handle the given situation. So the only thing that gives you a dopamine effect is going in Instagram or watching reels. That gives you a constant dose, though it is temporary, though it is not going to work, but for time being, that is the only best way at that point of time that is able to help you and help you regulate your nervous system at that point of time. Yeah. And for you to be able to shift from there and come to this position to see that this is not going to work, it is going to require 100. Let's give an example. It is going to require 100 units of energy. 100 units of energy to break from that pattern and choose for yourself to see something that works for you. However, to stay in that same mode, it only requires 10%, 10 units of energy. And we do not have 100 units of energy at point of time, because we are already want to hide, already we want to run, already we are feeling disempowered. So we do not have sufficient amount of energy to even, muster that level of choice and courage to get 100 units of energy, because we are constantly feeling so bad about and constantly doing so much of projection, expectation, judgment of ourselves that we just have limited. We don't even have 10 units of energy at that time. So the best thing that you are doing the best you could with the resources available at that point of time. And I was like, oh my God, this is so true. No, this is so true that I know that I can change. Like, I'm aware that I'm doing this. I know that after half an hour, when I have this work, after half an hour, I'm not going to feel that great, but still I'm choosing this. I feel more bad about it. And after half an hour, since you have wasted half an hour, you want to go again because you feel you are not able to handle this emotional stuff that comes up. Yeah. How many of you are able to resonate and see that this is occurring with you? Yeah. So yes, and I was like, cool. I need to learn how to not just be happy with doing techniques and visualization and clearing just in my head, but see the effect in my nervous system level. Like, is it shifting and changing my energy level with the body, my breath pattern, and how I'm feeling? And I'm like, cool, I'm going to, include all those tech tools and processes that will help me regulate. Because ultimately it is a nervous system that is not relaxed. It is in a high stress mode. Are you getting, Vandana? So all this thing that is occurring where you feel disempowered gets your body into either of this mode. And we need to learn to regulate ourselves and keep up into be in empowering, resourceful state of not in a doubtful, most of the time what we are doing is we are like, assume that we are living in a life from morning till evening. You are living from 20th floor to 0 floor. You have to keep moving. So 20th floor is your peak state where you are empowered, where you know you are in control, where you know that with questions you can change the situation. How many of us are there in that level at many point of time, right? We know that we can change. All that we need to is follow this process, use this technique, use this tool, and you can get out of it. However, you have a subconscious pattern that comes up from our childhood that has not been resolved, you know, and that is what keeps surfacing. So 95% of the time we go into an automatic mode again. 5% we are aware, and then again we go into an auto response mode. So from 20th we are going to 10, 5, 5. Like bottom 5 may be where you're depressed, like 1 may be depressed, and total loss of hope or total confusion or total chaos, right? So these can be the lower floors where we are in. So what we need to look at is, during the entire day, what emotions and feelings and thoughts are you engaging with on an ongoing basis? Are they disempowering or are they empowering? And you need to find your own way of getting yourself from bottom 10 to top 10. Bottom 10 emotion is disempowering and top 10 is empowering, if you consider that. So we need to have a way where we are able to move from a disempowering thing to empowering state. Okay, at a flash of second. Okay, we should be able to do that, and that is what should be our attempt. And you need to see what tools, what modality, what different tools and processes would fit and help me to move from here to there. So if you can regulate this and be in an empowered state, you would be able to make more empowering choices. And that's why, in spite of knowing, people are not able to make choices because they're not in a resourceful state. So please know, it is not about classes. It is not about the number of books. It is about using the tools, and also knowing that you have to create an atmosphere in your inner world, where your body and your mind both are aligned. A lot of time mind would want to have a lot of things, but body is like, no, I can't handle this. This is too much for me. Body has frozen, but you are saying, no, I'm using these tools, so this should be able to, no, you should be able to do it. And then when the actual situation comes, you freeze, you fight, or you run away from the situation. So see out of all of this, what is real and true for you, and then empower yourself, whatever requires empowerment. Okay.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I was not even looking at sharing this. I was actually going to create a separate call for this, because this is something new that I have been discovering, and that has been so empowering for me. So I'm launching something called Change Your Program, Change Your Life program. This is going to be at least 3 months to 6 months to 1 year program. It's going to be one-to-one, where I help people to identify different programs that has been controlling their life. The programs are nothing but projection expectation that what the parents did on us. the teachers and other people have done, and that is now in subconscious. We are not aware of it, but they are running our life. It's almost like hidden agenda. Okay, so yeah, so I have already shared the energy of it in this class, in this call itself. However, I'll be having it, and I'm absolutely thrilled because I'm so sure that if someone is there is getting handheld over a period of time, there is no way that they cannot learn a way to function from a resourceful state all the time. Okay? And even if they do go into unresourceful state, the time that they require to shift from unresourceful state to a resourceful state, that reduces. For some people, it may be weeks. You know, we may hide, and run. You know, we don't want to face the situation. Okay, and what we are looking at is if we can reduce this time, and and we can flip from disempowering state to an empowering state, from an unresourceful state to an resourceful state, from no choices to be able to make choices. Okay, and feel empowered. That would, yeah. So that is what is the latest in my life, and I'm looking forward to share with whomsoever is looking for this energy of change. So yeah, reach out to me personally if you are able to resonate. I'll share, and anyway, I'll be sharing it in the group. We'll be having call on this, and it will be a free call, perhaps of 1 hour, 2 hour of call, and we'll see what that opens up. Great, awesome. And I think we are time. It's almost 1 hour. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for your questions. And
Swami.
you're so welcome. And what would it take for us to create a life with ease and fun and joy? What if it doesn't have to be struggle? What if we don't have to function from the distractor implant? What if we can actually have a sense of certainty in ourselves, in our own being, in our own choices? Okay? And anything and everything that doesn't allow us to function from an empowered space, and any projection expectation of anyone that we have bought into that doesn't allow us to be all of that we truly could be choosing, can be now destroyed and get all of the please.
Yes.
Yes, good, bad, right, wrong, POC, all 9 shots, boys, for and beyonds. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And I will be sharing this recording with all of you, and stay tuned.
Thank you, Swami.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You all.